Hello, 8th grade. So today for our extension, we're going to be doing percentages with scientific notation. Harvard and Yale, you may have seen this before. Princeton, we ended up not having time for it, so you have not seen this before. All right, so for the first problem, we have the estimated world population was 7,500,000,000. Of the total population, 200 million of those people are left-handed. So this is total, this is left-handed. We're trying to find the percent of people who are left-handed according to this survey. All right, so to find percent, we need part over whole. But I want to do this using scientific notation. So before I even get to part over whole, I'm going to convert these into scientific notation. So looking at the first number, where does my decimal go? Right, it goes between the 7 and the 5. How many times did I have to move the decimal to get there? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I had to move it 9 times. So I'm going to write that as 7 and 5/10 times 10 to what power? The 9th power. So my total population is 7 and 5/10 times 10 to the 9th. For the number of left-handed people, where does my decimal go? Right, it goes between the 2 and the 0. How many times did I have to move it to get there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times. So my scientific notation will be 2 times 10 to the 8th power. This is the same as 2 and 0 tenths. All right, so now I have my two numbers written in scientific notation, and I am going to try and find the approximate percent. When it says approximately, what's that asking for? Right, it's asking for an estimate. So an estimate of the percent of people who are left-handed. All right, so I have part over whole. So part over whole. What is my part? My part is going to be the number of people who are left-handed. So my part is going to be 2 times 10 to the 8th. My whole is going to be the total number of people in the world. 7 and 5/10 times 10 to the 9th. All right. So in order to do this, I'm going to say, okay, approximately what is 2 divided by 7 and 5/10 equal to? 7 and 5/10 is approximately 8. So I'm going to substitute in 8 for 7 and 5/10. So now I have 2 divided by 8. What is 2 divided by 8? 2 divided by 8 is going to give us 1/4 because I can simplify on the top divided by 2 and the bottom divided by 2. So now that I've done my numbers, I move on to my tens. Here I have times 10, and I'll subtract my exponents. 8 minus 9 is -1. But this isn't scientific notation for a few reasons. The first reason is I can't have that number in the front written as a fraction. So 1/4 equals what? If you know it off the top of your head, that's great. If not, do top in, bottom out, and divide. 1 divided by 4 goes in 0 times, add my decimal. It's going to end up giving you 25 hundredths. So now I have 25 hundredths times 10 to the -1st power. I'm going to convert this into standard form to find my percent. So when I'm multiplying by 10 to the -1st power, is it getting bigger or smaller? It's getting smaller, so I'll move my decimal there. This becomes 25 thousandths. Last step is convert this into a percent. I know when I'm converting it to a percent and I have a decimal, I just multiply by 100 which is the same as moving my decimal 2 places. So my final answer is 2 5/10%. All right, looking at our next problem. So our next problem says the U.S. national forests cover approximately 900,000 square miles. The amount of national forest located in the western half of the United States is 3 times 10 cubed square miles. So the western is 3 times 10 cubed. And my total is 900. My total forest is 900,000. All right, so first I have one number in scientific notation, one number that is not, so I need to convert my second number to scientific notation. Where does the decimal go? Right, between the 9 and the 0. How many times do I have to move it to get there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll have 9 times 10 to the 5th power. Now I'm going to convert this into a percent. I know percents mean part divided by whole. My part is the forest in the western half. My whole is the total. So my part is 3 times 10 cubed. My whole is 9 times 10 to the 5th. So now I'm trying to find approximately what is the percent. Approximately means an estimate. So I'm going to do 3 divided by 9. I can simplify this. Divided by 3 divided by 3. That's the same as 1/3. Times. Now I can do this part. What do I do when I'm dividing exponents? Right, I can subtract the exponents. 3 minus 5 is 10 to the negative 2nd power. Next step is I need to change this fraction into a decimal. If you don't know it off the top of your head, you can do top in, bottom out, and you'll get 0.333 repeated. Let's say that's approximately 3/10. So I have 3/10 times 10 to the negative 2nd power. I'm looking for a percent though, so I need to change this into standard form so that it's a decimal. And I'll have, how many times will I have to move the decimal? 2 times because my 2, in what direction? I have to go to the left because it's getting smaller. So I'll have 3 thousandths. My final step is that I have to put my multiply by 100 to convert my decimal to a percent, and I'll end up with 3/10%. And that is going to be my final answer. So it's 3/10%. All right, pause the video, try the independent practice problem, and then we'll go over it together. All right, for this one, we already have our numbers in scientific notation, so we already have one step done. I just need to convert it to a percent. So percent is part over whole. My part is 9 times 10 to the 4th power because that's the distance the spaceship traveled. So imagine that the spaceship has traveled this far and the distance to Mars is this whole thing. So my part is the distance the spaceship has traveled, 9 times 10 to the 4th. My whole is 3 times 10 to the 7th. This one is easier because we have a bigger number on top. 9 divided by 3 is 3. When we divide exponents, we subtract, so 10 to the negative 3rd power. Next, I need to convert this into standard form, so I have a decimal. I'm going to move my decimal to the right 3 times. It goes here. I have 3 thousandths. But now I need to turn this into a percent. I turn it into a percent by multiplying by 100. Every time I multiply by 10, I move the decimal once, twice. So my final answer, just like the last one, is going to be 3/10%. All right, there is a challenge problem on the back. Work with your teammates to figure out the answer to that problem. Good luck.